Why does this look like the presidential election of the United States?
Like both
these
men
men
look like
are
they
under
be...
the criteria.
These men are under the criteria. You have to be at least 100 years old to become the president of the United States.
Hold on, Gunther's held that title for 800 years old. He's had that as long as Joe Biden. I remember when Joe Biden was a teenager, Gunther had this title.
What are you talking about? Joe Biden was never a teenager. he walked out of the room old.
He came out the room at 75, smoking and talking about, and what's going on with infrastructure? Help! Where am I?
You know, I have a feeling Donald Trump is going to become the president again.
Oh, I know it. I've been calling it. It's terrible. No one believes in Biden. No one believes in Biden winning this. And the only reason you would vote for Biden at this point
is because he's been eliminated.
The only reason I'm voting for Biden at this point is because he's there.
No, he's been eliminating student debt, which is the only positive of what he's done. What else has he done?
No, he's improved the economy. He did some stuff. He did some stuff that no one honestly cares about. But he's not Trump, who's just the worst. And I know this isn't the anti-Trump show, and I didn't plan on starting the show like this. But Jesus, that man he's just a walking mess. He's a walking mess. But hilarious at the same time.
So if you don't know what you're watching, this is the Untitled Manny and Marcus show, or the Kings of the Ropes show, or the Wolf Dogs, or wherever you're watching. There's a name. There is news out there. I just haven't watched it or cared about any of it. There's more that's been added to this Vince McMahon story. People have been named that have been covering up the trafficking. Stephanie McMahon's been named. Nick Khan's been named. But I don't know anything else about what's going on with that because I don't want to read it because it's disgusting.
You know how that's how I get my day started, ready. Just reading Vince McMahon stuff. Going, oh, what has Vince turned? No, Manny's just covering up the facts as he's pretending that Vince isn't there, and we're going to talk about Tony Khan instead. I recommend not talking about Vince. I mean, we're in a really good period of professional wrestling, and he's out of it technically at this point.
But you know what?
Stephanie's out of it.
People want to shit on him. AEW ain't doing too bad recently. Like they feel like they're taking a turn for the better, and I feel like as we continue to progress towards WrestleMania, I feel like everything is just coming into sync. That wrestling is back.
Well, AEW made a bunch of deals in free agency. It seems like, like any sports, and they hit the trade deadline, they're ready to go. They're in full WrestleMania mode. And you know what? TNA, as much as they were protesting leadership over there, seemed to go silent with that all of a sudden. So
here
we are.
Yeah. So let's get into the show.
Let's just jump in. I mean, what do you want to talk about, Vince? You want to talk about drugs? I don't know. It's nothing. We got nothing. UFC 299. There's a
cocaine joke to be had, but
it's always a cocaine joke to be had.
I don't want to go there.
I can talk about my 3 weaknesses, Betty, and it all involves white chocolate, white women, cocaine. Oh, and the snow. That's all I say. And none of that's true. None of that's true.
Drew McIntyre kicks off Monday Night Raw. He calls Seth Rollins selfish, delusional, arrogant, and a hypocrite, and a junkie because he had to accept 2 main events back to back. So CM Punk should thank him because he's the only one keeping him relevant right now. No reason to say that, but he did.
Yeah, he had no reason to say it, but when Drew said, all those things what Seth was doing, he did feel like a junkie. Like, wait a minute, what do you need 2 main events for at WrestleMania? Like, it's just greedy. It's just greedy. No one's ever did 2 main events at WrestleMania. And this is the closest Seth will ever get to a main event at WrestleMania, to be honest.
Yeah. Drew says the bigger picture is The Rock, because the next evolution of the business is working together with one of the most powerful people on the planet. Drew says Seth, he was right. He was the one that told him, Drew, you're gonna go away from the bloodline.
I don't know if that's a good Drew McIntyre doing Seth Rollins, or is that a good Manny doing Drew McIntyre do Seth Rollins?
No, it's a good Manny doing Seth Rollins.
I don't know. You can't tell. That was a layered impersonation.
So he took Seth's advice, focused and tried to give him his own advice back, but he didn't take it because all Seth Rollins cares about is Seth freaking Rollins.
That's true. True. I believe he's going to turn on Cody due to these statements by Drew. It would be amazing. Him walking out. I should be the main event. You're nobody and nothing. We're going bloodline rules. And then Drew's all of a sudden the face in the match next night.
Seth says Drew is starting to remind him of CM Punk, but he also believes Drew is an honorary member of the bloodline because of several of his wins would not have been possible without the bloodline. Seth tries to provoke Drew, says Drew McIntyre isn't much of a threat compared to everything else going on right now. Drew walks away.
My blown out knee, my neck, my back, my pussy and my crack. I don't know. That's what he said. That's what I felt like I heard from Seth. That's what it sounded like. Oh, long story short. Again, Drew McIntyre out there just throwing out dimes and gems and just being an amazing person. A piece of shit at the top of it. But you know what? He's an honest piece of shit and you got to respect it. I think, for some reason, at WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, I feel Drew is going to get cheered and Seth is going to get booed.
Nah, he ain't. Seth ain't
I think he's going to get booed. I think they're going to sing the song, but instead of boo, they're going to be saying Drew is dead. I think Drew McIntyre is too good right now. He's too good to get booed in Philly. Philly's a very booable place. They boo everybody. They boo Santa Claus. They destroyed Donovan McNabb's life or whatnot. So I think my prediction.
Donovan McNabb gave his life to finish.
They were extremely harsh to Donovan McNabb, and then he got allegations, but that has nothing to do with the time I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the allegation time. I'm talking about before when he was just a quarterback for the Eagles. That man did not deserve that hate.
So to many people's surprise, Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan was a great match. Not me. I knew that Liv Morgan was capable of such greatness.
What? This pissed me off, Manny. Because it made me question everything I've ever said about Liv in my life. Talk about she ain't good enough. She ain't going to make it. She's trash. She should be on the chopping block. She's just NJ and Sky Blue with less of an ass. I said all this. I said all of it. I don't know if I said that one publicly.
And you were wrong. Do you know why? People shit on Liv Morgan, and it's deserved. You're allowed to criticize people if it's constructive. It's like Maxxine Dupri, but she's trying. It's like Maxxine Dupri, she was trying. She's actually trying to get better. She knows she's shit in the ring. If you watch the Chris Van Vliet interview he did with her, she knows she's not where she needs to be.
Oh.
But she's trying to get better. Liv Morgan has been on a trajectory on the rise where she's consistently been getting better and better. No one wants to see it. Do you know why? Because she's got a terrible character and nobody likes it.
I mean, when her big catchphrase is "Watch me," I have no choice. I'm watching a wrestling show, and I'm not. What, you want me to turn the channels? My other option. But I before I jump into conclusions and give Liv all this praise of how great she is, I am going to go back to saying Becky Lynch is great. Becky Lynch is great. She carried her. She made that match. I couldn't imagine her having a good match with anybody else on this planet. Other than someone that's if she had a match with Zoe Stark, if she had a singles match with Zoe Stark, I don't think it'd be as good. Unless Liv is actually good.
I think it was a post by Maurice that was making a similar, like, they didn't think Liv Morgan was capable of this type of match. The point I wanted to make, but I don't think it would have came out well in text, because I feel like it would have came out snarky, is people like Becky Lynch and Bayley bring people up with them. When you look at those four horsewomen, what were they called? The four horsewomen? They were called the four.
You got it right. You got it right. Or you call them 4 horse workwomen's. Don't confuse them with them.
Charlotte. I feel like Charlotte and Sasha Banks are those ones that are in it for themselves and personal gains and personal accomplishments.
You know what? I don't believe that about Charlotte. I just think she's just maybe who she is. Like she has good matches with everybody. She tries.
No, Charlotte tries, but like I feel like Charlotte is more about Charlotte. Whereas like when you see the likes of Becky and you see the likes of Bayley, they have consistently put other people ahead of themselves to make them look good in the ring. So like look what Becky did to Lyra, what Becky done for Tiffany Stratton. That's just recently when she went back down to NXT. And then you look at like what Bayley's done with Damage Control. She's put Io in a position where Io can shine. And I feel like Bayley won't get the credit. Becky will, but Bayley would get nothing. Bayley is like the prodigal. Bayley needs to go to AEW to come back to people to realize how good Bayley was.
Oh, Manny, I would like to say that Bayley has not elevated Io or Damage Control, but she has elevated Dakota Kai into being the ultimate villain at this point. Like Io kind of exists.
No, see, I don't feel like Dakota Kai needed. I don't feel like Dakota Kai didn't need it because Dakota Kai was evil. Dakota Kai was
fired, Manny. Dakota Kai was fired.
Do you not remember War Games? The way she just kicked Tegan Nox and destroyed her in that War Games.
And that was the peak of her career until she got fired and started working with Bayley, and then the storyline, and then all of a sudden she speaks Japanese and stuff. No one cared about Dakota Kai. She was on the same level as Tegan Nox. Of just another face. In fact, we were saying put her back with Raquel because that was it. That was the end of Dakota. She had nothing. But back to the story. That was a lot of time on.
Yeah.
Becky is out there. Mommy comes out in a rare appearance to the ring.
It's starting to bother me how little Rhea Ripley is part of the show. Like, you're a champion. Do something. You're doing nothing. You're doing less than Roman.
Not only that, Manny. Not only is she doing about less work than Roman at this point, she is the most loved wrestler in all of WWE. And I feel like Becky's in the exact same scenario that Seth is in at WrestleMania, where she will get booed. And Becky and Rhea will get cheered. No one's booing Rhea. No one's ever going to boo Rhea. It's over. That chance happened. Once she became mommy, it's over. They're not sending anybody else to UFC. They're sending Rhea. They built a whole pay-per-view in Australia around Rhea of her getting cheered. She's a hero.
Dull, Marcus. We learned more about Australia than we did about wrestling that day.
Wait a minute. I enjoyed the showdown. Damn, I went a decade back. What the hell was the show called? Elimination Chamber. It was a good show. 2 chamber matches were solid.
Marcus, do you know what the takeaway I got from that was? N-word Lou. N-word Lou looks like a really good place to be.
Yeah. Nigga Lou.
That's what I learned from that show. I didn't learn anything.
You learned that Rhea.
I didn't enjoy it.
You didn't enjoy it because you were sick and dying. It was a good show. Nia Jax dove. It was a good show. It was a good show. I'm not gonna let you tear down the Australia show. But anyway, Becky is going to go down, and I think it's the era of the horsewoman is officially over. It's officially over, and the only one on the rise, and it could all go downhill from Wednesday, is Mercedes Moné. Charlotte's injured.
I think
Becky's getting booed.
We'll
be getting booed.
I feel like her WWE excursion was put on hold because of injury. Like it was kind of like,
It
oh
was.
yeah, she's doing bits, injured, and then like flatlined.
Yeah, but I'm gonna call it a rise right now because I'm sure she's making more money than she's ever made.
Yeah,
She
she's
has
probably
this
getting
big
5
show
million a
coming up
year.
Wednesday. Yeah,
She's gonna
she
get
has
paid
this
more than
big
her
show.
cost.
Yeah, she has a big show doing big business this weekend. I believe that. I mean, this week it's sold out, and it's a rise. It can only go downhill from here at this point because that women's division is trash, and it's all on her shoulders. And I feel like the era of the horsewomen over. We're in this new generation of Rhea and Bianca, and dare I may add Liv Morgan.
Do you think, because later on in the night, Becky and Liv Morgan shake hands, but it immediately taken out by Nia Jax. Becky then goes on to challenge Nia Jax for a last woman standing match. This could actually turn into a fatal 4-way now.
No, I don't think so. Because the one key component hasn't been attacked yet, Manny. The one key opponent hasn't been attacked. None of them has attacked Rhea. Liv or Nia has not attacked Rhea. So I don't think we're getting that triple threat, fatal 4-way type of deal. I think it's only going to be one-on-one. I think that's where we're going. I don't think we're going with a multi-person match.
If a blonde white woman screamed in my face, I'm going to take everything from you. It's on. It's on! The way Liv Morgan said that to her, it's on.
Well, I mean, it's just giving Liv the excuse to get revenge at WrestleMania, where she will low blow Becky Lynch as Rhea gets the pin.
All right.
And the crowd's going to cheer it.
Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis announced a 6-pack ladder match for WrestleMania, which the Judgment Day was not happy about. It appears they took advice from Miz and Truth. Damian wants R-Truth tonight. The Judgment Day want to discuss big business with Andrade. He believes he brings a lot to the table.
Yeah, Manny, can I add something? Why are they treating these tag teams like it's a mystery? They just put Priest and Balor up there and then a bunch of empty spots. And yet, when Pierce was announcing the match, they showed the 5 tag teams. I'm like, oh, DIY, the Creed Brothers, and so-and-so. And I was like, that's 5 teams right there. Exactly 5.
Those are qualifying matches.
It's ridiculous. Oh, is that what they said? I missed that part.
Yeah.
I thought they were all qualifying. I was like, oh, those are the 5 teams.
So Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell take on Ivy Now and Maxxine Dupri. As Maxxine goes to deliver the reverse worm, Candice decides to give her a dressing down and block it, and says people are booing her because she doesn't belong here, and says it's a good thing her dead brother isn't around to see what an embarrassment she has become. Then walks into a big boot and Indy wins the match.
Okay.
Did they go too far? Because her brother is actually dead. Her real life brother has died.
No, Manny. Let me break this down to you the way I saw this.
Or are you believing it's Max Dupri? Are you thinking about the brother Max Dupri? Because he is dead.
Yeah, that's never coming back. But I mean, you may see some guy yelling "yeah" and breaking TVs on SmackDown. But no, he's dead.
That's not Max.
That's not him.
That's not Max.
Every time she sees that guy, she was reminded of her brother. Anyway, I couldn't believe what I saw, Manny. I watched the wrestling show, and you know how bodies have been broken, the Don't Try the whole video package and all that. You know what I got to see?
Yeah.
Someone hurt somebody's feelings, and that's what happened. You didn't attack the leg. You didn't attack the arm. You went after her feelings. You went after her emotion. She quit. She knocked it so down that she was like, you know what? You're right. And walked right into Indy's boot. Which, you know, is even worse that you're friends with someone like Candice. That's like being friends with Christian. Candice LeRae wears the Christian handbag.
This reminds me of the Candice from the Dinner with the Garganos. This was the Candice from Dinner with the Garganos, the evil one.
Yeah. I was like, where did this side come from? And Michael was like, she's disgusting. I was like, you know what? She is. This is a low point. But I do like that they turned this Maxxine can't wrestle into a storyline for no reason. This is out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting this. Not at all for this match. I literally got this match and went, I guess.
Well,
like I didn't
Candice
care
is
about
basically
nothing
Natty
until...
Jr. I don't see anything wrong with it because Natty Jr. can pull out, can train Maxxine, make her better.
No, yeah, that worked. That worked for Skittles.
Yeah, Candice is actually a more Candice is actually a good wrestler. It's just never gets shown.
So you're saying
she's
the new
like a
Natty.
3. She's a 2.5 star general.
She gets the job done, and that's what I feel like Candice did here, and she got the job done. After seeing the awkward verse Worm, I was all about her cussing her out. I didn't know they were going to the dead brother part, which I went, oh, dark. But
yeah, but you live in the dark realm.
I do. The dark realm makes me laugh, and I went, oh. Immediately when she said dead brother, I was like, I wonder does she? And then I looked, and then on the internet they were like, yeah, her brother died in a car accident. Tragedy, I was like, fuck. 2017. I was like, damn. So Maxxine's on the rise.
Yeah, moving on. Cody Rhodes.
No follow-up for this. That'd be crazy. No follow-up for this. We never hear from Maxxine really again. And Candice is just a face of next week.
Cody says slapping the Rock was a receipt. Michael Cole questions if Cody can actually trust Seth Rollins, but he stresses people can change. Cody says Cody agreed to the match as a chance for a fair fight, a chance for Michael Cole to say for the first time that Rhodes is the undisputed WWE champion.
I'm sorry. I finally read Levi's comment. Jermaine Dupri. This will lead all of this. Full circle. Long-term storytelling. Anyway, I'm sorry. Cody cried. Cody got emotional.
Talking about his mother.
No, and you know what? Yeah. The whole part about, I can't hand it to my father, but I can hand it to my mother. Brandy was mentioned. Some AEW stuff. And I thought, you know what, Cody, job well done. You're still a good guy. No one's booing this man at Mania. This man has to finish the story. If he don't finish the story this time, man, he needs to never show his face again. He needs to put that paint back on his face.
Because after this speech, I think March 11th needs to be referred to as Cody Luther King Day.
What? I mean, this man had dreams. It's only come down to
everything. He had everything. Yeah. This is Cody's I have a dream speech.
He can't lose. Otherwise, he gotta have to bring a paper bag for himself whenever he comes out to the ring. He cannot lose now after this one. He got too emotional. He took it too serious. And you know what? I bought all of it. I don't care. I was really happy that Brandy's name didn't get booed either. You know what? I'm happy they used the term Brandy and not Eden Styles. The phenomenal Eden Styles.
Because he didn't hire Brandy Rhodes. He hired Eden Styles.
Yes.
Hired Eden Styles, and we all know it.
Don't cover up the truth. Bring back Eden Styles. Phenomenal journalism, as Pat McAfee said, even though I don't think that's journalism, asking questions in the ring. I feel like you're doing investigative reporting. And just ask somebody questions. That's an interview. I don't consider that. I consider journalism, you in the field, all right? You in the shit. You got sources. You're reporting on some real hard shit. He didn't ask anything. Cody didn't answer anything we didn't know. There was no trick question in there. So, so I feel like him getting an excellent data boy from Pat McAfee, I think it was out of place. I didn't appreciate that. Excellent journalism. He asked questions, and Cody gave a million different answers.
The Kabuki Warriors take on Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler for the women's tag team titles. Not just there, but it's interesting to point out. All the matches so far have all been women's matches. I thought, where the fuck? What's happened here? It's properly 50-50 this week.
Yeah, they did a 50-50 this week, Maddie. The Stephanie McMahon dream. They did it. Yeah. And you know what? I didn't notice it. I didn't honestly notice that it was all women's matches.
I noticed it
until you were going to the rundown right now.
Yeah, the only thing that stood out was it was men's segments, and then it was just women's matches for the first almost like hour and 45.
Yeah.
Then
I didn't notice it.
Yeah, R-Truth and Damian Priest was the first men's match of the night, which also just kind of happened.
Yeah. Assassinated. And then Regeneration X came out there, but then they got their ass beat, and everybody went away. But yeah, I didn't honestly know. It felt, I guess this was like NXT, where it's just like the women fit seamlessly.
I was like,
and not like AEW, like where it's a sore thumb.
Yeah, it felt like NXT in disguise. It was like, ooh, I don't mind this. And then,
like, oh, we just.
But then I also knew the Gauntlet was going to go like an hour. So
yeah, because it was like, oh yeah, this is where all the men are. And Ricochet and JD just had a regular match, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I was giving so much time, but before that, Jey Uso challenged Jimmy Uso to a match at WrestleMania 40. Jimmy, you accept the challenge. I'm gonna knock the yeet out your ass.
Which I don't think I need to see. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but ooh, sounds messy.
Yeah, so the Gauntlet.
You motherfucker! Oh, yeet. Goddamn, I don't know why. What popped in my head right now.
The Gauntlet, JD and Ricochet decides to have like a 20-minute classic. For no reason.
I was like, hey, you guys aren't leaving much time for anybody else in this Gauntlet. Thanks, guys. It was like Triple H is in the back. Ricochet, you ain't wrestled in a while. You got to make up your time. You better make up your time. I need you and JD to go about 45 minutes. Everybody else can buy. But yeah, it was nice. And overall, the Gauntlet was enjoyable.
It really picked up when it was the final two. When it was Sami versus
Gable.
Sami versus Chad. Yeah, it was like, I don't know how you can leave Chad out of WrestleMania. He's had a great year. He's had a really good year in the lead up to that, from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. I feel like you can't leave him out, but I just don't need another Intercontinental title, a triple threat like we had last year. I don't feel like it's right.
No, you got to cut him. He's getting cut. He ain't making it, Manny. I want to break it to him and Otis. They're not making it. Unless they're going to be in that tag team shit thing, the 6-pack challenge or whatever. They're not making WrestleMania.
They haven't been doing tag team stuff for ages.
Yeah, and I think at this point, this was the end of the Alpha Academy and the rise of maybe an evil Chad Gable. Like, his story, they sold the story of like, I don't want to see my daughter cry and all that. And it makes you believe that this man was not going to lose today. Even though Sammy has had his setup interviews with Jackie Redmond for this. All of that little detail for the past few weeks of this little bit of Gable of like, oh, I'm going to win. I got to prove myself. It added to this match like if they planned it. And I went, were they prepared? Was this the move? Have they been at this making us think Gable was going to do something for this? And you know what? That was the move. Long-term storyteller was right here, guys, and it happened in your face. And they sold it to us. And I thought that was made this great.
Raw was another good episode. I feel like I really enjoyed it. It didn't feel like it was a chore to watch, like sometimes Raw is. It felt good. How about you? What did you think?
I'm going to say this, and this may shock you, Betty, considering the stuff I've said on this show. This might be one of my favorite episodes of Raw of all time. I don't know. I thought it was a really great episode. I know.
And on that note, on that bombshell,
yeah, that's the end of the show. I'm not going to explain why. I'm not going to explain why.
It's the end of the show. I've been Lord Manny Hayes. He's been.
Are we really going to end this way?
Yes, Marcus, end it. We've got 30 seconds. Say your name. Say your name.
I can't.
We can do it, Marcus. We can do it.
Do we want to, Manny? Do you want to?
Yes,
we're not
we
gonna
do.
finish the story. It was a great episode of Raw. I thought everybody played very good roles. I'm Marcus, the grand finale. I can't believe we're gonna end it like this.
We out. Peace. We did it.
Yes, boy.
Yes, boy.
We're still recording.
Peace out. Bye.
I have so much more to say.